Okay, that's that's great news. Good, very good idea.
Oh, oh, Yeah, they need to come. They need to come on a pre-assessment day to be assessed to see if they are eligible to come on a 2-week course, either at the British Racing School or the Northern Racing College, where they will be assessed on a whole variety of indicators. So it's a residential course for 2 weeks. They have the weekend in the middle off to go home and do some reflection, but they come to either of our schools for 2 weeks once they've done a pre-assessment course, which is to ensure in the first instance that they are fit enough to do so. Often we find with amateurs that they're not fit enough to take out a license to ride in public against professional riders.
And those programs those courses are set in advance, and we deconflict so that there are a number of them available, both the pre-assessment days and the courses during the year.
So that's what Stephen was saying. So those dates are set in stone about 12 months in advance. So the assessment dates and the course dates don't conflict with each other. It's very much on the onus of the amateur or any yard that they are attached with to ensure that they are ready to come when the courses are on. We don't just run a course because somebody decides that now is the time they want to become a jockey.
This is really, I didn't understand. So how can somebody 8 years, she's old enough, she's not too young, like she's more than 25 years old, and suddenly 2 weeks earlier she was amateur, and suddenly she told me I have license from my jockey club to be apprentice. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot accept to ride in this race. So did I do wrong, or was it, I need an explanation from all the experts like Colonel, Grant, and Remy. Because it shocked me a bit. 1 week ago I was an amateur and today I'm an apprentice. It cannot be, no?
This is Remy. If I can jump in, I think that we can establish our own rules as far as IFHRA, as how we want to define amateurs versus apprentice jockeys and who will accept in our races. We don't have to. If they've been not. My point being is that as a former amateur rider myself, I think we have to clearly define how we feel an amateur rider should be versus a professional. Because if you have an amateur rider who rides 200 races a year, riding against a true amateur who rides maybe 10 or 20 races a year, there's a big disadvantage, obviously. And so I think that, and I'm pretty opinionated about that. A true amateur rider does it for the joy of the sport, and that is a professional. Whether it's a man or woman, it doesn't matter. So I think you have to look at those factors as well. How many rides a year the rider is in, and whether they're true, amateurs, or they're being paid as a rider in the morning just to, ride as an amateur rider. So I think it's important that we establish the rules ourselves.
I think so, because really it's sorry, everybody was like shocked. 2 weeks ago she was amateur and suddenly they tell me, oh, I have apprentice license. I said, how come 2 weeks ago it's still just Torres? I cannot accept someone who 2 weeks ago was riding in a country and competing with girls, and suddenly I am apprentice, I have it. How come Norway accepts to do this? This is very shocking news for me. I think maybe...
According to the Scandinavian rules, you can do that.
You can?
Yes. it's free for anybody to try to be an apprentice. Celia has been riding as an amateur for several years, as you said, and if she wants to be an apprentice, and if somebody is accepting her apprenticeship, it's legal by us.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I think, Remy, we can all look into it to have something at least to have
Yeah.
safety measures here, because
Just a point.
can you talk on the mic, please?
Sorry. Yeah, I believe, Remy, when you say an amateur who's riding 200 races a year, he's not an amateur anymore, he's a professional. You know what I mean? So he has to take a decision, or he's professional, or he's an amateur. A proper amateur race, it's people who's going maybe 2 or 3 times a week maximum at the stable, riding in the morning, who's participating to the races. But some of the amateurs, they are like us, they are every morning at the stable. So basically they do like our job. So I think they have to do like a comparison who's really amateur and who's more professional. But on the other way, like when I first started, because I was studying at the same time, I had only 2 options. Or I could be an amateur or a jockey. If I was an amateur and I wanted to be a professional jockey in France, they will never give me the claim. And basically when you are starting as a jockey, if you don't have claim, you don't ride. So the other good thing, I believe, for the amateurs who wants to be professional, they must have the claim, because this will help them to start. But again, an amateur who's riding 200 races a year is not.
How many wins, how many rides she has? She's still 9 years. I know her from we started. So 9 years is the festival, and 8 years is Sheikh Fatma races, and 8 years Silja rides in our races. And suddenly she decides to be apprentice. So I couldn't accept her, not because I don't want a Norway race or I have nothing against Syria, but I thought that there is something, unbalanced here. And 2 weeks ago she was riding in a country as an amateur, and suddenly she decides I want to be apprentice. How can it be?
How old is she?
Well,
She's 28, 29.
Yeah, well, I think you have to put like a limit.
I think that is the thing, Remy. We need to have limits in these things.
In France,
Yeah,
apprentice
one
is
thing I might
25.
point out, because
We opened it, remember, for when we had a nice mentorship from the US, 32 years old, and we said, okay, till 32 we can accept in mentorships. But when you have an apprentice, which is, I don't know how old, now 28, 29, you know better than me.
In Denmark, we have the rule of 25, that is the oldest.
Yeah, but how come she decides and let an apprentice in Norway?
Yeah, I don't know.
There is something wrong.
Normally in Denmark, we would ride for 1 or 2 years as an amateur. Since they're young, they're 15, 16. And when they're 18, they can decide whatever they want to be professional.
Okay, I have a question also. Sorry, we're talking maybe a bit, but this is important for IFHRA and for the executive committee to understand something in Scandinavia. When you say Scandinavia, means Sweden only, or you are talking also, you're saying Sweden, Denmark, and Norway?
In Scandinavia,
And who is representing Norway here?
I don't know.
Okay,
But-
so we really need to look into it.
yes,
I speak to them, because if Norway is continue changing like this, we need to be, everybody should be organized here. And it's correct, we have to put a rule here. Because if we do not have rule, there's something missing. Everybody comes and change their minds. And now because they know that the apprentices are backed up by a federation, by a big federation, by rules and entities and races. Now it's 12 races. It's competing now with the ladies' races. Now next year in 2018, we have instructions from His Highness Sheikh Mansoor bin Zayed, and of course Mama Fatma, to have equal races between the apprentice races and the ladies' races, nothing better than the other. But strongly we insist if we can have Norway also part of IFHRA in order to understand more all of us how to put rules in our country and accept jockeys.
I think.
If I could suggest one thing, I think Colonel Patrick had something to say.
Unless I'm missing part of the discussion, and it's not always easy to hear every bit, but I think that the key piece here is about the licensing. And if you attend and pass an apprentice license course at either my school or Grant, then you go from being an apprentice and it happens quickly. But it's a very sophisticated process.
I'm with you, you have a class, but I don't think she went to a class of apprentice, this girl, because yesterday she was an amateur and suddenly they tell me she has now a license for apprentice. Yesterday, in our last race, she was riding.
Hey, Lara, if I could suggest one thing, because like you said, this is an important issue, but here's what I would recommend to the board. I think Sarah needs to be a part of this discussion because she works with amateur racing and professionals, and I think what we need to do is we can't enforce rules to different countries on how they license. What we can do is control IFHRA and who we accept in races. So I will be happy to sit down and draft some house rules on what we define as an amateur rider and a professional for the purposes of our races, and then I would submit that to the board before the next meeting or sooner. The specific rules on number of mounts, the age of the rider, what defines a true amateur versus a professional. That way we have something to look at. But I think that's the best way for us to address this, as opposed to trying to reflect what the rules are in England versus Norway versus the US. If that makes sense.
What the festival will do now is that because this series of Mama Fatma for Apprentice World Championship is under IFHRA rules, so we will put the rules accordingly to IFHRA rules. So all the countries need to abide by the rules that we put to make it a clean race. So we don't have jockeys, maybe, I don't know, he stopped for all his year and suddenly they send me a jockey riding. I was so happy last time in France Gallo did not accept any jockey from the ladies that are also amateurs, not professionals. They don't have 5 wins, they cannot ride in the race, and they put 2 girls out.
What I will say is, I know in Europe they have different rules for the
Can you
amateurs.
higher your voice so that they hear you?
In Europe they have different rules for the amateurs. Sometimes I get angry because in Germany it is an amateur rider. It's an amateur rider. It's not allowed to make money. For them it's not allowed to work in the stable. It's not allowed to make anything in the stable. I know in Great Britain, some of them, they work every day. They work every day, 5, 6 horses riding. This is like, it's like a professional. So we have to make our own rules that it's not allowed to have this in our race, because it's also in Germany we have some young boys or girls, they are amateurs. They do it they start when they are 15, they do it for 2 years, and then they say, okay, I'm good enough, I want to be a professional. So they go change, it's not like change, they have to make an apprenticeship. The apprenticeship takes 3 years. And in this time, they're an apprentice. I think this is a good idea because some of the young kids, when they are 15, they are very light, they have 50 or 52 kilos, and when they are 18, they are too heavy. So it's not good for them to make an apprenticeship. But it's good if they know, I can do it. And what I mean is, I have seen the girl, she changed from one of the other day. Normal,
yes,
they have.
You know her, she was
Yeah,
with you.
I know.
And she is 60 kilo. I don't understand how she become apprentice 60 kilo. You know, this is why I try to be a little bit tough here. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot accept it. And it's not only, it's It's not because of this lovely girl. She's so lovely girl for me. She's a friend. She's a jockey, a winning jockey. But this had a change with a weight that does not go with her, which is a 60 kilo weight. Huh?
The jockey club has to advise.
Yes, but there's something going wrong in Norway. No, sorry, I don't understand. That's why I wanted to know more from the Scandinavians group. How do they think? Because I know your jockeys are very light. Anna Pilrod, everybody, but this Anna is professional. 60 kilo, and one day she was with us in 2 days ago where you were? In France. And suddenly she tells me, Sarah, well, listen, there is still a store and she has apprentice license. I said, no, I cannot accept it. This is why I think, guys, maybe we can sit as an executive board in London, because you are both there, Grand, Colonel, Remy, maybe you can do it in August, you are free, and we can see Melissa and the other boards, because we have a full day at Chelmsford on the 12th of August, a full day called UAE Abu Dhabi Race Day, and it would be lovely if we can have a nice executive board meeting only, not a full assembly, just to discuss these points, and we'll get Her Excellency Lulu Al-Awadi and discuss with them how to do this certain rule applied in IFHRA just for protection. And protection for the series, so I have something to, if I say no, I can say, okay, this is a rule. But once I don't have a rule, I just only use my common sense. I don't know.
Lara?
Yes.
Just so you're aware, the British Racing School is about 40 minutes from Chelmsford.
I will give you a room in the Royal Garden with us, darling, because you're going nowhere. You have to be with us.
No, I'm inviting you here.
Yes, I will come, of course. I will come to you and to the Colonel, both of you.
You can have a meeting here before.
Yes, we can do the meeting at your place. What do you think, guys? Okay? We will come one day earlier. Everybody will come one day earlier. We'll set a meeting. We have our press. They can go to the school, and it's a good thing to do. So I think, thank you, Grant. We will come to you.
Friday the 11th.
Yes, and the 12th is the race. Saturday is a full day race day in Chelmsford. And we have apprentice race. And maybe we can take our apprentice jockeys to go to the school and meet the school and have a nice picture with all of us. Okay?
Whatever you desire.
Yes, Sarah, tell me.
Can we make a small course?
Yes.
On the simulator.
Can we, what? We can do a small simulator program also for that. Maybe we can train if Grant allow us.
Are we going to have an agenda for this meeting, or are we just going to sit and talk and talk and talk? Remy, you said you produced something. I would look forward to seeing what you
Don't
produce.
put this one.
I don't want to be too loud, dear.
No, I want to loud so that we can hear you.
Remy, you said you would draft some minutes and a report of this meeting on what we've been discussing. I think this is a very serious problem, this weight apprentice amateur situation at the moment. It is getting out of hand. And IFHRA can't control various other countries' rules, can it, really?
No.
So we've got to have some arrangement for our races. I use the word our very
Yes, it's
slickly.
12 races this
It's
year,
our-
and next year, inshallah, there will be 14 like the girls.
It's our races. But the whole thing, to go there on the 11th, the 12th, and Grand, possibly the 13th, yeah, extending, to know exactly what we're going to be talking about, have an agenda, have it worked out. Let's have discussions with the various racing authorities. I mean,
Well, I'll start it off before the 11th of August with some draft rules that I'll circulate to everybody, because having ridden as an amateur and all that, I'm pretty familiar with the situation. So let me start it off with that so everybody can take a look at it, and hopefully we can, I'll meet in England on the 11th to kind of ratify the rules and get some input from everybody before then.
And we will have Her Excellency Lulwa and her team from Bahrain coming, so that they can implement whatever is decided afterwards, so they are ready in November.
But could we have some representation from the various governing bodies of racing in various countries that affect us? I mean, we've got to play the game with them, and they have in consequence play the game with us.
Yes.
Don't you agree, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, Pat, but I think you won't get all the racing jurisdictions there. And
No, but I don't mean to
need
get them there.
Norway
I mean to get
sort of
their
bend the
opinions.
rules.
What is their opinion?
Okay, we don't, their opinion, we can share it with them. They are already, all the countries are here and everybody has a racing thing. You can share it with them. Let us share it now. And maybe Remy can listen to it, and then afterwards we can take an agenda ourselves, which we will create as an executive board after this meeting, because this is serious, guys. We really need to have this rule, because now this is getting out of hand. Someone comes to me, he's 50 years old, he's an apprentice, and one time, come on, there is something going wrong here. Don't laugh, because South Korea, he knows very well, he sent me to Moscow, to Tatarstan. How old is he? 50 years old.
But is there not a rule in some countries
50
where
years old apprentice, yes.
a professional jockey can revert to
Well,
being an
I think
amateur again?
I think there's in the UK the age limit is 25, but I'm pretty sure the gentleman from the racing schools vouch on this. They changed the rule to 28 in, I think it was 28, 29. But what they changed the rule in doing so was the apprentice was 25. When you were above 25 and you hadn't ridden a certain amount of winners, you became a claiming professional. There's a difference between a claiming professional over a certain age limit to an apprentice. And I think that's what you kind of need to do that as a general board, to say, right, the limit is the limit is 25, the age limit. But if you are an apprentice over 25, you're a claiming professional. There's a huge difference.
This is why you are both here, darlings, our best ambassadors, because you will be part of us and supporting the best board and Remy, in order also to give your opinions. You are professional jockeys.
In my day,
excuse me,
that when you became 25, you didn't claim, you lost your right to claim an allowance, because if you were at 25, you hadn't got a position as a jockey or succeeded in being a jockey, then you didn't have a claim and you just rode, well, without a claim. Sorry, Richard, go on.
No, Pat, it's Phil Pritchard
Yes.
from the Amateur Jockeys Association of
Yeah.
Great Britain. I was instrumental in maintaining this claim, because I thought at the age of 25, if a jockey lost his claim, he tended to drift away from the sport. And being an old amateur, I was still riding at 50, I thought it was a great shame we were losing people between the age of 25 and upwards. So I think it's important they still have the opportunity to claim, because otherwise these people will drift away from the sport and you are losing a lot of valuable people who have contributed already to the sport.
I quite agree with that, you know, but it just shows the amount of discussion that we have to have before we can have a meeting to put forward propositions and come to decisions, really.
Okay, we've got a comment over here.
I would like to talk about the rules. We have, I think it's better to take in consideration that there is countries that doesn't have the concept of amateur. They only have professional. So maybe the rules should be about age or about victories, because there are many countries that would like to be part of IFHRA, but they don't have amateurs. So they only have apprentices or jockeys.
But IFHRA is only apprentice. It's not at all amateurs. Amateurs, we're talking about Sheikh races.
Yes.
This has nothing to do, this I'm talking as a festival. But IFHRA is only apprentice jockeys. And we cannot accept anybody except apprentice jockeys. And every country that you see here has an apprentice jockey in its own school or in its own foundation. That's why you have apprentice jockeys like in Morocco.
For lady jockeys.
No, what I'm talking about, the ladies jockeys is something else and has nothing to do with this meeting. This IFHRA meeting is only particularly for apprentice jockeys and nothing else. What we talked about is an amateur girl suddenly decided to be an apprentice, and 1 week ago she was riding with us in France with a license. And this cannot be. How did she take it? And she's 60 kilo. How can she be apprentice with 60 kilo? Because I know apprentice jockey should be 53. She is always weighted, Silja. I have problems with her weight. I don't understand. That's why it's better to be careful in these things. Create something which secures the races of Sheikh Mansoor Festival and Mama Fatma's names, which is IFHRA races. Okay, guys, this is your races. It's us who's supporting it. It's Mama Fatma's who's on top of us, giving us the lead to take more jockeys, support more jockeys, whether they are girls or boys. But let us do it really carefully to protect also your rules in the schools and everywhere.
Thank you, Lara. I think we've got to be a little bit careful that we don't get confused between licensing and regulations that each country has got the right to impose, and our own regulations in regard to our races. And we can put regulations, and Remy's going to draft those for us, and they'll be discussed at the August meeting. But just coming around this meeting, I think the key issues that we've identified are age. Age is an issue. We want to encourage youth into our races and youth into our sport. I think the weight is definitely an issue. The number of professional races, we must have apprentices who are ridden in professional races, not solely amateur races. And the other one is, how long has an individual been an apprentice? We don't want to take someone in our races that's been an apprentice for 5 minutes. Kai.
Chris. I think it will be not a problem for all the schools, all the countries to send us a short email with the rules, how it works in the school or how it works to be an apprentice. Because this is, you say from Korea, if the apprentice was 50 years, I know, he was 50 years old. How you can be an apprentice with 50 years? How it works?
I remember a guy coming to me, he told me, Lara, did you see the South Korean jockey? I said, no. He said, he's 50. I say, what? 50 years old, I cannot make him run. How you will look in front of a 19 years old?
And young people never looks old. That's why he could be.
No, he's not fun. No, but this is like in South Korea. We Kim Sum, we appreciate that he understood the story, and in Tatarstan they helped him, and so we don't affect his, his sensitivity or anything, his feelings. So we asked the jockey club to give him 2 races that he ran first and the second race on that day, and but no way to ride an apprentice with a 19 years old, and the big difference, 40 years old.
But, sorry, IFHRA as a federation, you cannot just put your rules and every jockey club or every country will accept to have your races. We have to follow your rules.
Yes.
Whatever the regulation you have in your country, soon as you have an IFHRA race, apprentice races, and you say, yes, we agree to have you in the country, you accept as well to follow the rules of IFHRA, and that's all. So now you can decide whatever weight jockeys you want, until which age and whatever. So I think it'll be more easy for everyone.
But I would love to have from any school a short email with the rules, how it's worked to be an apprentice.
And this helps Remy afterwards.
Because I know it's in the United States, the apprentices get more older. They are 23, 24 when they start, so they are 25, 26 when they start to riding in the race. But 50 years or over 30, it's for me, these are not an apprentice
becoming old.
And so when we have all the emails, we can make our rules and say over. We have now the limit is over 30. They are cannot ride in an apprentice race. This I know. We tell them last time.
Yes.
But we have to make.
Ian had something to say. 1 minute there, Remy. Let Ian say something.
Someone surely should be entitled to progress from an amateur to an apprentice. Therefore, I don't know what the transition period should be, but one day you're going to be an amateur, and as soon as you get your licensed apprentice, you're going to be an apprentice. So it can happen overnight.
Sorry?
It can happen overnight.
How can it happen overnight?
Because you're going up the scale. You're an amateur today.
And if you are 60 kilos and you are 30 years old?
The individual case is not the issue here. Maybe the decision was right or wrong, but some people will progress from amateurs to apprentices, and as soon as they're granted their apprenticeship, the status changes overnight.
I'm with you, but 1 week you are riding an amateur.
Yes, but that will happen.
How it will happen in less than a week?
Well, that's up to the licensing body who did this.
Yes, I'm telling you, we have to have Norway on the board to see how it goes on their country.
1 week they'll be amateurs, and as soon as they grant their license, they'll then become apprentices.
Yeah, but that's okay, Ian. But I think what we'll have to do is put our own regulations around that, so that it might be a minimum time as an apprentice. Yeah, but if we put
as
the
long
right...
as we protect our races,
exactly.
which are the 12 races of the World Championship for this year, we are fine. The most important thing is our integrity and our reputation worldwide. This is a World Championship series and the only one in the world. So if the countries are serious enough, they have to abide by our rules and not their rules. And really, it cannot be that anybody, today you see him in the ladies race and suddenly you see her walking with the apprentice jockeys. You understand my point, how it was?
I understand your point, but that will happen in our own country, won't it?
Just to kind of move things along a little bit, I'm going to work with Kai and Sarah on getting all the rules together and come up with some proposed house rules, because we can't replace licensing from other countries, but we can enforce our selection procedures for which riders will invite to ride in our races. That's the important thing. The second point is that going from apprentice to amateur is fine, but you can't go the other way around in my book. Once you become a professional, if you decide that, okay, it's too hard, I want to go back to being an amateur, you might put in a 5-year wait period or multi-year wait period before you can become an amateur again. Those are rules that are in other countries. The third thing I'll say is that this is very important because trainers will not enter horses in a race, in an amateur race, if they know that one rider has 200 rides during the year and the other rider has 5. So it's going to be very hard to fill races with horsemen unless they know that there's a standard rule about how much experience the riders have. The trainers will enter if they know it's a fair battle. But if they know that 2 or 3 of the riders have ridden much more than the other riders, they will enter their horses.
Okay, thank you, Remy. I think we might wrap that discussion up now.
Yes.
We've got this will be taken to the meeting on the August the 11th. And Remy will prepare a draft, and we'll look forward to the outcomes of that meeting. So thank you everyone for the discussion. It's been quite a robust one. Let's move on, and we'll go to, we lost the Skype before, so we were moving back to agenda item 7, and that was the membership update, and Remy, we'll get you to perhaps talk to that.
I will be brief and then gone because I have to head up to Churchill Downs with our students. We have a little race this Saturday called the Kentucky Derby, so one of the reasons why I could be there with everybody. First of all, let me thank Lara, and of course, a special thanks to Chris Watson for filling in for me. Give him a round of applause for all the hard work. Believe me, Chris, I know how hard it is to put these meetings on. For the mentorship update, I sent around to everybody a quick report on where we are right now. I'm very happy with all the help from everybody at IFHRA on that. The first 2 students that went to Grant from Melissa in Australia, I think it was a real big success. I think Grant, you guys were very happy, as was Melissa. They did a great job, those kids, on posting videos and sending out tweets and Facebook updates and things like that. We have upcoming soon here, we'll have one of our students going to Ireland to work at Nahyan Stud Farm. And then in August, and we have several others that you can read on the report, what the activity is. One interesting thing that we're developing is that working with Grant and myself, oftentimes one of the problems that trainers have is that if they send an apprentice to work overseas, they have one less worker there to ride the horses. And that's been a problem. So what Grant and I are experimenting with is that we're going to do a swap. Or he's got a trainer at Newmarket, will send his apprentice to me, and I have a trainer here, Joe Sharp, who's training actually a Derby horse this year. He will send his apprentice, one of our grads, to England, so that both trainers have replacement rider for a month. So I think that's a very innovative idea, and it means that both trainers have enough work staff, but then two kids get a chance to experience a new country. So that's, I think, going to be an innovative new idea that we can add to the whole process. The only thing I would add is that the expense cards are working. We're still learning how to process those, but it's much easier system than it was last year. So I'm very pleased with that. And I would encourage everybody in the room, listen, you have nominees on the list. We can't do everything for everybody. I encourage everybody to work with each other about sending kids overseas and creating mentorships, as long as you make sure that we're in the loop on preparing all the paperwork and everything. That's my report, and I'm very happy with the way things are going so far.
Great, thank you, Remy. Thanks a lot for all your work too. It's quite a lot of work coordinating these mentorships. I believe that the system that we introduced at the last meeting, and that's the finance card, the credit card that each mentor was each student was getting. Is working quite well. And I was speaking to Alan about that. Do you want to comment?
Yeah, hello. I got a good feedback about the prepaid card. So we'll continue with this, with issuing a prepaid card, this payment method. And also, so far we issue 5 prepaid cards. And we upload some, and some we did not upload it. We will upload it when we got the instruction. Okay?
Thank you. Okay, so is everyone, I think
Grant already experienced the credit card thing, so with students.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Remy said, with Mel's help, the exchange of the 2 Australian girls earlier in the year could not have gone better. It was absolutely exactly what this scheme is set up to do. They were absolutely delightful. They rode out for 2 of the best trainers in Newmarket, Luca Kamani and Ed Dunlop, because they have Australian connections. Both of them would have offered the girls a job. They rode so well. If they could have got visas, I think they would have thought about staying in this country. That was absolutely a success. The only thing that we had a slight niggle was the cards. They didn't turn up until the day before the girls left. But that's teething problems. We've all learned from that, and as I understand now, it's all working much better, and they've reclaimed their expenses against those cards, so that's fine. The only other thing to add is, as Remy has said, the exchange that we're going to be doing in August, so actually if Remy comes over in August for this meeting, he might be able to go down to Kingsclear to see Jarek Halo down at Kingsclear with Andrew Balding, is that they're actually going to cross in the air. And as Remy has said, one of the issues we have when we've approached trainers is that's all very well, but I'm letting staff down. So if they, I hate using the word quite literally, but they are quite literally going to cross in the air, these 2 guys. and so that our guy is not a pair of hands down, and Joe in Saratoga is not a pair of hands down. And as we've all said, I mean, if I was 19 and someone gave me the opportunity to go to Saratoga for a month, boy, I would rip both arms off. So, Lara,
Yes.
1 year in, it's just peachy.
Thank you. Bravo.
We might just get a very short update from those countries who have got mentorships against their country, and we're particularly interested in the ones that haven't got a green light at the moment, to see what's happening with those.
Why we gave green light for everybody?
Yeah, I'm just talking. Remi's sort of given us a
Maybe
list,
they
and
didn't
there's
say what they want.
yeah. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Oman, we have yes.
Yeah. First of all, I think Oman was the luckiest one this year that our apprentice was chosen for this mentorship. The apprentice chosen August and September. Right now, we've received the last email from Remy, and we wanted to know some more information and some help actually to contact how to do it exactly. I mean, to get the mentorship. We was thinking only that's what the idea we got, that only the students or the apprentice going to the academies only, but the jockey schools. But now, which is we understood after that when Remy sent me the last email that they can go to the start farm, they can go to training school, I mean the training stables and all this. So we'll like some more information, and as soon as we pick up all the information, we will inform Remy about where to go and how.
Ben, do you need to speak to someone for further assistance with that?
Yes, I do.
You do? Perhaps Remy, do you think Oman should be speaking with you or with just one of the other countries?
I think that the best approach for me would be that, first of all, while everybody's there together, it's a great opportunity while you're all interacting to talk to other racing school directors and representatives and see if you can find a good connection with your rider while you're there. And once you do that, all you need to do is contact me and say, listen, I spoke with so-and-so from this racing school, and they have a window of time that suits my rider. How do I get my rider there? And that's where we step in with coordination of travel, the request for funding, the credit card, all that stuff we can do. But what I want to avoid is trying to be all things to all people. I mean, I really need to rely on each of you to coordinate amongst yourselves and meet some people there and say, here's the young man or woman that is eligible, and here are the dates that my rider can go somewhere to get that experience. Now, a lot of times there may be visa issues that we have to deal with from one country to another, but I will really kind of rely on each of you to work with each other to organize things as much as possible. Now, obviously, we're here to help out and put you in contact with other people, but I really do need your help on establishing those mutual contacts, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, thanks, Remy. I think that's fairly clear. That just speak to people here about opportunities that might be for Oman, and then you can take it further.
So, Chris?
Yep.
I don't know, Remy, if it's possible, but I have a number of trainers, both in Denmark and in Germany, who'd like to take riders. But maybe we could make a list or something so people can go in and see, oh, these countries are open to taking a rider. Because that might make it easier if you don't really know people.
Right.
Yes.
That's a good point. I started doing a list. In fact, that's how we got Canada involved, because they have two trainers there that were able to get Jack Pilkington to go work for. So go ahead and send that to me. I can certainly circulate opportunities to everybody to say, hey, listen, we have some trainers in here and there that will take riders. So absolutely, yeah, we can circulate that information, send it all to me, and I'll post it and we can get people connected. That's easily done. The other issue, of course, is going to be language skills. Can a writer speak the language so they can communicate things? But we can work all those things out down the road. But yeah, go ahead. If anybody has a trainer that's a good fit for what we want to do, that will actually mentor the student, not just take them as an employee, but really work with them, please send me that information and I'll circulate it around.
Okay, what if the festival of Sheikh Mansoor, with our races worldwide, we can speak ourselves to the big trainers in the world that we already deal with them, and they put horses in our races, and maybe establish a kind of agreement between the festival and them to have IFHRA use those big trainers in this mentorship program. And I think we don't need to have a mentorship program with a small trainer in any country. We believe it's much better for these mentorships that has been spent on and supported by Sheikh Mansour Festival to have big names of trainers to give those advices. This is why in order to succeed and to have better mentorships programs, whether these guys wants to go to a certain trainer, to have a trainer like Kumani or somewhere, I don't know, but try to, with our connections, try to have a certain agreement or a certain understanding with big trainers worldwide in different countries where we see the mentorships are going. And then I think they will be better supported and more clearer for countries to say, okay, I want to send my jockey to the best trainer in the world, but the best trainer of the world will not accept a jockey from IFHRA if we do not make a kind of understanding with those kind of trainers. Would you think it's a good idea, it would help, or no?
Definitely it is.
Then we will go and do it.
And,
so give me a list of whoever you feel, because you have the mentorship program, Remy, and you know how many trainers and which countries they have been asking for, the countries that have applied for a mentorship. And then it is the festival job to make those kind of understandings with the best trainers in the world.
I agree, and I think on a final note, the very important thing to keep in mind is that we focus on the quality, not the quantity of
and
food.
Pat will help me on this.
Thank you, Pat. You're a great man. Okay, so thank you, and Ricky, that's a great idea. I think Remy's will, if people can submit names to Remy, then he'll put a list together. Okay, perhaps we'll move on to Turkey, a little update. But just while speaking of Turkey, Zayed just got a message from Keith Rowe in Ireland saying that he's had trouble Skyping in, and he's missing us.
Keith Rowe? I don't know that.
Chris, I'm going to have to sign out because I hit the road here to go up to Louisville, but I want to thank you, Chris, and everybody, and I wish I was there. But have a great meeting, and just send me the minutes and all that, and I'll follow up with whatever you need me to do.
Thank you, Remy, and we will miss all of you this week because it's going to be a great and beautiful 5 days. It's a beautiful country, Marrakech. And by the way, His Highness Sheikh Mansour Festival is doing history in Marrakech by opening the Hippodrome of Marrakech with Sorek for the first time ever.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Remy. Thank you.
Thank you, Remy.
I'm afraid I have to sign off too, Lara.
Colonel, why, darling?
Where are you going?
Kentucky Derby.
We have an annual fundraising race at Pontefract Racecourses, and I'm on my way there. We have guests arriving and an afternoon of racing, which raises money for the Northern Racing College. So I'm afraid I have to leave you.
Good luck, Colonel.
Thank you. Thanks
But I think Sarah is sitting and but she doesn't.
Sarah, do we have you?
You do. Hi.
Hi.
Sarah, why you are very quiet, listening, but you're not saying I am here?
I'm here.
Okay, great. We were having discussions about Silja's story earlier.
Yeah.
Did you hear them?
I did.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, Turkey, can we just have a quick update on the mentorships?
One of our apprentices going to Ireland. We discussed with Kitro between August and September. Other one, we have planned going to Australia. We are discussing with Melissa.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo, well done.
Northern Racing College, we won't get an update on that one just at the moment because Stephen's gone. USA, Alicia, do you have an update on a mentorship for Jarek Allo?
Yes, Jarek is going to go over, as Remy was discussing, with the procedures they put in with Grant, and so Jarek will be going over there, and then they will be sending a rider here to work with Joe Sharp, and then we have another young lady, Mihaela West. She will be going to Ireland to do a little bit with the breeding side of things over there as well.
Fantastic, thank you. Kim, update on your mentorship?
The Mong means she's an apprentice to go out to learn some massages field in Sweden. I'm cooperating with Gabriel Gauch and me, and it's on progress. Maybe it could come out our cooperation from mid of May, and that could be reached to the maybe Sweden. I think the excellent massager there, and she's gonna take a lesson from her. So it's gonna come out maybe in next 2 weeks. I think it'll be going good now.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Denmark.
I have a contact at Como in Kentucky, and I'm working with Remy on sending our girl to there, and we did accepted her for the end of July and for all the way to the yearling sale. So she's there to prep all the yearlings. So we are moving forward with that, and we got the acceptance. So now we just have to work out all the details. So yeah.
Thank you. That's very exciting.
Yes.
Melissa isn't with us. She has an apology for this meeting, so we won't get an update. But I think everything, I spoke to Melissa about a month ago, and she was really very happy and echoed all Grant's thoughts in relation to her mentorships in the UK. Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we have a student going. I don't have the precise information, but as soon as I get it, I can inform you guys by email.
Okay, thank you. We haven't got Keith, Sweden.
Yes. I have contacted Australia, and we are trying to work to get her to Australia in November.
Why are you talking for Sweden?
Because nobody really helped this girl, so she contacted me because I was sending the Danish girl abroad.
Okay, you have Sweden near you.
But I will, Mimi is new, so I will get her into it. And so it was just to get her going.
Okay.
So we are working on that too.
And let's know about it.
I know that we have applicant
Hello.
accepted, but she claims she has
Hi,
got
Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Hello, everybody.
Our applicant claims that she heard nothing from IFHRA since the meeting the last meeting we had.
So no problem. I think you can coordinate afterwards with that.
Yes.
Or you're good. Okay, thank you.
And apart from that, just that our Swedish racing school is getting great guns. Frederick, as you know, he has about 20 people down at his sessions down in Jägersro every week. And he started up in Stockholm where he's got about 10 or 15. And it's jockeys, it's apprentices, it's amateur riders, it's even pony riders.
Bravo, mashallah. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great news because Freddie's fantastic. So that'll be really good. Let's move on and and welcome to Keith Rowe. Keith, we missed you, but you're here with us now. Thank you.
Something with Keith.
Hi, nice to see you all.
Keith, while we've got you, can you give us an update on the mentorship for Fionnan McCarthy?
Yes, he is. Melissa is organising a placement for him with a trainer in Melbourne, and he is scheduled to go out there in August, September for 8 weeks.
Fantastic, thank you. Canada.
Yes, we have Hannah Toomey, who is prepared to go and work with Gay Marchand in Australia. We are Gay's away right now, so we're waiting for Gay to get back to complete all of the organizing for her to go there, but we're hoping that Hannah will be going there in July.
And what will she be doing there?
She's going to work on being an apprentice jockey, as an apprentice jockey.
Okay, great, thank you. Let's move on to Poland.
Well, our candidate is interested in breeding and equine care, so we've still been searching a mentor for him. And the mentorship program is planned to be held in October and November.
Okay, so will you be talking to people here about that, perhaps during the course of the conference?
Not yet. We tried to contact via email with a few stats, but
okay. Well, maybe somebody here can help you with that.
Yeah. I will try for sure. Thank you.
Sweden, did we talk about Louise?
No, it's only Sophia.
It's only Sophia.
I have no idea of Louise.
Okay.
There was no applicant for her in February, so and I don't know this girl.
All right. Okay.
So.
We can perhaps talk about that after the meeting.
Yes, yes, we'll do that.
All right. And South Africa. There's a Jack Pilkington. I don't think anybody is here from South Africa. So we'll just put that one to the side. Thank you, everyone. The mentorships seem to really be going well. The next thing we have to talk about on the agenda is, applications for membership of IFHRA. And we have an application from Chile and one also from New Zealand. And perhaps the representative from Chile would like to speak to that application.
Sorry, I was sending out.
Excuse me?
Okay, can we consider Chile?
Well, he's telling me that he sent by email to Remy all the information related to the application.
Right.
And he told me that the email was sent on last Monday.
Okay, yes, we understand Remy has the information. Did he want to tell us anything about the school, the jockey school in Chile?
Now that everything is all right. It's good.
And there are how many apprentices do they have?
They have 18. They graduate on last Wednesday. The graduation of the students was last Wednesday.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, good, thank you. The other application is from New Zealand, and I think most of you know that I'm in New Zealand now as a consultant with New Zealand Thoroughbred Racing. It's a bit of a worry. It's my third IFHRA country in about 4 years. I began in Turkey and moved to Malaysia, and now I'm in New Zealand. But it's very exciting, and the New Zealand government have given the industry full responsibility for their training now. It used to be in conjunction with the government, and now the industry is being contracted by the government to look after its own training. Just quickly, they have 5. It's along 2 islands, so there's 5 training academies. At the moment, there are about 250 people enrolled in courses in New Zealand, which includes breeding, apprentices, stable hands and trainers. They've linked the licensing of stable hands to the training system, and all the training is government accredited, so they've got a good relationship with government in regard to that. So New Zealand, surprisingly, hasn't been a member of IFHRA, and one of the first things they asked me about was IFHRA. They'd heard about it, and they've got a good understanding, and New Zealand Thoroughbred Racing is very keen to be involved. So we hope you'll accept our nomination, but I can't call for that. I guess you can call for that, Lara.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts, guys?
No thoughts?
Okay, shall we?
Yeah.
Can we call for acceptance?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Chile, you
Yeah.
cannot put your
Yeah.
No, I'm not from
And
Chile. I'm from
Puerto Rico, yes.
I was just
Sorry, I
translating.
thought because you
I
must take
I was translating. Just translating.
translating. Okay, so you're fine. Okay, so we will welcome you on board. Bravo, Chile. And New Zealand. Okay, I need to say something also very important. Je crois que peut-être Ahmed n'a rien compris en anglais. Tu as tout compris en anglais ou non? Un petit peu. Après, on va faire... Oui.
Et prochainement, on va partir de début. Pour l'instant, on est apprenti à l'école.
Oui, je sais, mais maintenant Xavier va peut-être rester un peu avec toi pour te dire qu'est-ce qui s'est passé durant cette réunion, parce que tu parles le français, tu ne parles pas l'anglais. C'est pour cela c'est mieux que Xavier vous donne les notions en plus. Okay? For the countries, guys, if you can listen. When we have a general assembly or a meeting, the guys are giving their time to sit with you on Skype. It's 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. and they're attending the meeting but via Skype. There are some countries that are not even giving attention to these meetings. So from now on, and without taking any thoughts, any country that will not attend 2 meetings, even on Skype, will be disqualified. Because this is serious. We are all working very hard, but there are some countries that don't care. If there are countries that don't care, we also don't care, and we don't want to put races in their country. So we even take it very seriously, all of us. If you cannot attend, look how many they are on Skype. We can always tell Remy, sorry, we cannot attend, and we can directly liaise with Remy for the connection of the Skype. Any other country is gonna miss that. I'm sorry, but we will disqualify this country. Okay? Who's with me on this? Shukran.
So that's disqualification, not suspension.
Disqualification, kick out.
Kick out.
Not suspension.
Okay.
Now Hungary is in. and Japan very soon. Japan in, but they will attend in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Okay.
If that happens, Javi has just volunteered to hand out the red card to that country, and he'll. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes. No, the legal will give him.
Yes.
The court of Abu Dhabi will give him a red card.
Big fun.
We have a note in the agenda for updates from members. So, as if anyone wants to give us an update of anything that's like anything new that's happening in their country or in their racing jurisdiction, we welcome it. Malaysia for Dr. Edward.
Yes, they have.
Lara and Chris, thank you for accepting me. I'm Dr. Edward Samuel from the Malaysian Economic Council from Malaysia. I'm representing Dr. Malik Jeremiah, who has given his apologies to come. And today, just one or two things which I'd like to bring up. Number one is the state of Kelantan, in one of the states in Malaysia, where the Sultan is current king. They are the children. So I would like to request IFHRA about that. And the other thing is we have formed the Malaysian Arabian Horse Racing Association, IFHRA, and they have brought some draft constitution. So it's already formed, but then we're in the process of registering it. So we will, I just got a limited copy, so I'll just give it to the executive board. And also some of the other things like the jockey training and program, which is done by Malaysian Economic Council. And I will also, I've got some notes on that, which I will pass it to the executive board. So with regards to this jockey training program, if we can get some assistance from IFHRA, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you know what type of assistance you're seeking?
They are all apprentices. So I think maybe yes, on the training program, maybe the initial one, I think they will be asking for it.
Sorry?
The initial training program for jockeys, for apprentices. So on that aspect, yes.
Can we assist with that, Lara?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more updates from
Can I keep this?
around the world? Yes.
Because I need to remember.
Yeah, that's quite exciting, Dr. Edward, that there's been an association for Arabian racing established.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Any other updates? If not, we might have. Yes.
I just found a key card. Somebody might miss it badly.
Okay, just check your key card.
What number is it? 1043.
Which hotel?
From the other one.
Le Jardin.
1043. Who misses this one?
Okay, if you find you're missing a key card, then just go to Germany and you'll be able to find it. Let's move on to new business. And is there anything? Did you have anything that you want to talk about? Just going around the table. Anybody have anything for new business? Anyone want to raise any issues, any problems? Kai, there was just one in the last set of minutes about you were concerned that the apprentices weren't bringing the right gear, the right whip, and so on. Is that problem sort of resolved itself?
No, it works everything. So everybody bring the right things. So
Yeah.
in the moment we have no problem. But
We have a problem.
we have a problem.
Yes. The jockeys should have their whip, their saddles on their heads. Please, from now on, they're not allowed to put them in their suitcases, because might happen that their suitcase will not come on time and they become very stressed out and they stress everyone around. So we do not want this to happen. Sarah, make sure please that they really need to put this on their hands and not in their suitcase.
Lara, can I just say?
It is easy, Richard,
No.
because they reach and they become very stressful, and you don't know the girls when they become very stressed.
Lara, you can't take whips as hand luggage.
Not whips. I can put the whip there. Whip is not a problem, but the problem is boots You cannot find boots everywhere, and the boots you can have them on your head.
Boots, breeches,
and their trousers and
boots, breeches,
The helm,
handbag.
but the whips you can't take off on a plane.
When you have a big saddle with metal inside, sometimes the airports are tricky there.
Yes, I'm with you, but at the end of the day, at least you have your clothes with you.
Yeah,
a saddle you can get from the racetrack,
Body
but your
protector,
clothes you cannot get them on the
helmet,
racetrack.
breeches and boots.
Yes,
going
and
in
the thing is, when it becomes a little bit, they are young, they become very stressful, so that they give stress for everybody, and they're not thinking, they're giving negative energies everywhere, just thinking of their clothes and what they will do.
Yeah, for sure.
This is what I would say. Bahrain, the jockey, I don't know if he will get the luggage or not, but if not, Morocco, hello Morocco, maybe we have to help him because his luggage is still in Bahrain, in Dubai.
No, yeah, he went to the airport today.
Ah, okay, good. Okay, good.
So he received that?
I hope. I'm here, I don't know.
If not, we have to help them with the clothes.
That's why Guy said, like, jockeys have to come earlier, because if any trouble with the luggage, at least you can manage.
The jockey is here.
Yeah, no, but in the future, like,
Yeah, but even the jockey is earlier and came one day earlier. He's giving stress to everybody for his own clothes. And really, he's not thinking. He's just negative energy and spreading on all. They don't know what to do and where shall they go and buy the clothes. And it's not easy to go and find a trouser and a boot for a girl or for a boy. I don't know. Maybe boys is much easier to get from the track, but the girl, how will I get? Sure?
Yes.
Okay, guys, maybe the boy won't give a girl to wear his clothes.
But it's very easy. Put the helm.
Put it on their hand.
It's very easy. Put the helm, the protector, the pants and the boots in the handbag. This is nothing. It's a small bag. And no one will get problems. The whip and the saddle, it's not a problem we will find in any racetrack. But helm and vest, sometimes it's not easy to find. It's because sometimes our race is the first race, there are not so many jockeys on the racetrack. So, but normally we have no problems to find this, but it's make a lot of stress. It's very easy, put the helm, the boots, the pants, and the body protector in your hand luggage, and you will have no problems.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl.
Now,
Marcel?
sorry, sir. I think there is something to talk about the body protector, because rules are different in each country. So you may check and have an agreement with all the jockey club, like to check, to make sure your apprentice have the right body protector. Sorry, the right body protector.
We do it already.
You did?
Yeah, we do it already. Because
Also,
every racetrack have different rules.
Yeah.
Every racetrack, well, every country have different rules. So if we go to France or to Ireland, we know they have special. If they have it, we organization for them the body protector. This makes Sarah do it in UK, because I know the people from United States or from Canada or other.
Helmet as well.
Of course, helm and body protector. It's not a problem. If they have special rules, we will organization it for them.
Okay.
I have just a question. Why do we have a website? Probably we can put it on the website for every racetrack that the apprentices are racing on. I put something together for Ostend in Belgium, although we do not have an apprentice race this year. But I can hand it to you.
Yes, please.
And you can read it, because as we heard, even we have 4 countries surrounding Belgium.
Yeah.
In all the 4 countries, the whip rules are different. Yeah. It's probably easier that the jockey knows it before he comes in. Had an experience with one lady rider who went to, I think, Chile, who had some publicity on her beaches, and she couldn't have that in that country.
Right.
So specific rules should be sent out way before the race, and way before they come into the country. And
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's not easy to go away before the race because most countries give the race at the last minute.
Lara, I
The
believe
rules.
the only
They
publicity.
just say the allowances and these things, whatever it is done only like 4 days or 5 days before the race.
But is it not a good idea, like all the jockeys participating to Sheikh Mansoor races has on the breeches the logo of Sheikh Mansoor, and that's all. Not any other publicity.
We'll see what we will do, but for the time being, we are fine with it.
We send always the race rules 4 or 5 days before the race out with the last invitation, with the info sheet and everything to every jockey or race club and from.
Yeah, Sarah, you can speak.
Yeah, Sarah, she do it.
Yeah. Whenever I send out the itineraries, I always send out the race rules and the number of strokes that the jockeys are allowed for the whip.
Okay, Sarah, I need to, it's 2 questions for you, because I have Poland here. What is the story with Patricia? Why she didn't take her ticket? Normally we send everyone the ticket.
Her ticket has not come through from Bazan.
No, yes, but she can wait. The race is on Sunday, so she has time to take her ticket, I think. And her Polish Jockey Club will not accept that she resigned. Resigned from where? She resigned from your jockey club?
From Krakow.
Sorry?
We've been waiting for a ticket. I've been chasing her ticket now for 3 days.
Yes, darling. Vasant was too busy doing 600 tickets here.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes, and this girl needs to ride. So she will send her a ticket. We cannot change.
Okay.
Okay, I have the Polish jock who will help with this. Grant, you're talking to us? Grant? No, he's talking on the phone. Okay, the Polish Jockey Club has to help with this. This Patricia has to come back and her ticket will be in 5 minutes in her thing. What about the other girl that is not going to ride so that they know? Because we have now in the press conference the draw. What about the other girl?
The Irish girl that's in hospital has now been replaced by another Irish girl.
Okay, can we have the name of the other Irish girl? Can you write it down, Miriam and Sarah, for the draw?
It's
You
all
have
been
it?
emailed over.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay.
Grant, were you wanting to say something then? No? Okay, thank you. Okay, Marcel, if you can pass that paper to me and we'll circulate. It could be a template for everyone. Yeah, thank you. I've done something unforgivable and I missed item 5, which is an update on the communications program. Is Nadine here?
Yes.
Nadine. Nadine.
Good morning. Just to give everyone an update, Mara is not with us this time, so hi Mara. If they're waiting on a couple of last minute things for the website, which Mara has in hand with Remy. With the IFHRA Instagram, it's always been an ongoing thing to test it, and Facebook, which is going very, very well. But we also need each of the countries and your media to also spread as much information about your participants in the IFHRA schools. The students from Australia, most recently when they went to the UK, sent us a daily update so we could actually put this on Instagram, we could put it on Facebook, and we could also share it with our media throughout our racing authorities and communities. As we're not sure whether everyone does know how to do this. If you're not sure, then you can speak to Remy or Mara, because the more photos we have and the more stories we have, it's good for sponsors as well. It's also good for the Sheikh Mansour Festival, but it's also good for other students to understand what we're actually doing. When they're going from, say, one country, an Arabic country, to Australia, just for the diversity, for the culture, just for the experience, and we need your help to actually push that through social media.
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram, you can give me the password and the name of Instagram because I always travel with all the riders. So when I be on the racetrack, I always IFHRA, I take that, but I need the password so I can put pictures because I'm always there with them.
You need to share the password for the countries because countries has to have also the password. It's like IFHRA, you put on things on the website or anything. This needs to be done by countries because tomorrow a country has things to put, so it doesn't go only through one person or two person. This passwords needs to be given to those guys. Once we don't like what is posted, we just can delete it. Okay?
Nielsen.
Another thing is, well, as usual hacks. When we see something on the sites here, like the princess site, the ladies sites, it's always for friends. We can't share it unless it becomes official, if you know what I mean.
Yes, it's
That's
at
a
the
problem.
moment it's not public.
What is it?
One of the reasons Sarah's also here with the lady jockeys and the apprentice page, because it had private photos for the girls. At the moment, it's still closed. The pages aren't public at this point.
And why?
Well, you had decided not to make them public yet.
Not public?
Yes.
No, because they were giving, sorry, miscommunication. The not public is not because I decided, because Mara went and put where we are going and what we're doing, and so there will be harassments over there. We did not say not public. It can be open publicly to everybody, because at the end of the day, we're only posting whatever we are doing. But to put a calendar, Mara went and put the full calendar of what we're doing, and we had some harassments in the hotel. So please do not take a miscommunication between you guys and throw it that I did not decide to put it. It was a harassment with Australia, with this publicly put on in United States, in San Francisco, in particular in the Four Seasons. Because we went and put the calendar as it is. You're not allowed to put a calendar as it is. Okay? So you can open it publicly as much as you can.
Thank you. And you can share.
You remember that time. You were there.
So Nadine, are you able to circulate the password?
When they went to the room.
Remy can put it with, Sheikh will share it with Remy's next update if you like.
Okay.
When you do all the minutes, and it'll also note for the Instagram.
But make sure no one will change it. Make sure no one will change the password.
Okay, one thing. Not everybody will take passwords. The countries that already have a mentorship program or whatever, they can have a password to put their things inside if needed. These countries also are very careful for their own information also. Because IFHRA, they are members of IFHRA and they don't want things to go overlooked. You are the ones who are over-checking the whole thing, and you can just take it off whenever you see something inappropriate put on the website, or on the Instagram, or on the Facebook. Okay? But to just throw a race, a calendar like how it was thrown from Mara on the webpage, it created a story also with, with what is happening in the world. We should be a little bit careful where we attend or what we do, so we don't go publicly and publish all the thing on Facebook. We can publish it wisely in not stating things as a festival of Sheikh Mansoor, but because things were very delicate that time, I closed it on her because she didn't understand that there are things not to be exposed on Facebook. If I send you a letter, you don't put it on Facebook. If I send an invitation to the countries from Sarah sent over there, she don't post it on Facebook. This is not a place to post things there. This is a place to put pictures, to see the activities of these guys and what they're doing, but not to post an invitation sent to a country whether they want to come or not. This is why I was keen on telling Mara this, and she took it miscommunicationally, that it is not public. Okay, but we need to be careful what to post on Facebook.
To know which hotel and the room we have.
don't put your room, they will not come to your room. But when you want to put the hotel and room, of course they might knock the door.
It was actually, excuse me, Lara.
Yeah.
It was actually as well, the girls have actually got photos as well that are on there, and what they were trying to make sure of is that no one was taking those photos, or some of the girls' photos, whether they were at the beach or this or
Listen,
that.
Nadia.
So we can.
I didn't put photos, nobody will put his photo on Facebook if he doesn't want to put his photo or her photo. If she puts her photo on a Facebook, she should understand that everybody will see her picture. This is a public thing, it's not a closed thing.
Yep.
Today, IFHRA has 15,000 followers, we only have 300. And this is because we didn't open it publicly. This has to open from this minute publicly, and the girls that do not want to put their pictures at all, they can just not put their pictures at all. They can accept friends if they want. Sah? They will see their pictures anyway. Google the person, you will see all their pictures. So I don't think anything is limited now to a picture. Sah? I'm sorry.
Lara, could we have do you think it would be an idea to have a social media workshop for the...
Yeah, I think so, and I
next
will
conference?
have different social media big guys that are going to be there to really conduct how to use Facebook, how to use Instas, how to use the Snapchats. You know, Snapchats are sometimes dangerous also. You put a Snapchat and all the world see you in 2 seconds for a full day. Okay, it will disappear, but they saw you. So let's not put the thing on a girl that don't want to put her face on the Facebook, because once she has a Facebook picture, Google her, you will see all her pictures on Facebook. So she's not keen on putting that picture itself because it's already posted there.
Thank you. Is that all, Nadine?
Yep, that's...
Okay, thank you. There's one more comment from Kai.
Of course, we have to open our Instagram that everybody can see.
Yes, Instagram should be...
It's all open.
Okay.
All open?
And we've mentioned to all the schools, we've asked the schools, Mara has asked the schools many
Okay,
times.
and I will ask also now all the people in the World Arabian Hostessing Conference to enter IFHRA, to follow.
And it's also important, if we have put picture there, not private pictures, we will put pictures about our races and
Yes.
what we will
No,
do.
no,
This is the
listen,
other thing what the
she's
people
doing
will
a good
see.
job,
Oh yeah, I
Nadia.
say nothing, of course, she's
Okay,
doing a good job.
she's posting right pictures, she's putting the pictures of all the festival races, she's all the time doing a super great job. Thank you, Nadine, and I think she needs a clap. Okay, everybody, if we do our own job, I think we will all succeed. But if everybody is depending on one person, we will all flip down.
I say nothing because of Nadine, I only think
No, I'm just
if we
saying
get
that
all the password for that.
I'm with you, darling, but we have to, everybody rely on ourselves. We as a country, we rely on ourselves to make it a better country, to everybody expose what we have to do. Like you're Germany now. You will see the UAE ambassador to Germany is arriving on the 5th. This is just to say a big hello to Germany. Once again, we're doing a race after 4 years back to Germany for Sheikh Mansoor Festival because of problems in Arabian. So all of these happens, but everybody should rely on that. Races, people, job clubs, everyone. This is IFHRA. This is our home. If we want to work together as a team, we will make it a bigger and more important federation. But if we want to count on one person or another, sorry, we have to count on ourselves first before going outside.
And we have many students in different countries that we can have many photos.
Yes, of course.
You can upload and share. That we're chasing them at the moment.
This is
So
what
it's-
I mean.
Yeah.
No, the only thing what I mean is if we give the password to everybody, not that the people put.
No, this password is not easy. Come on, Kai. To give a password for a jockey, I think is the
No, not for the
delegate.
jockeys.
No,
No, not for the jockeys.
For his own country is fine. Once you are there, the girls are there, you can tell them, okay, post your picture, hashtag IFHRA, like I do. They are all with you, or the apprentice. So it's very easy job, and it's a safer job. Because once you give a password like this, we can be hacked anytime, and what's the use of being hacked?
No, this is right. I do it also. When I take pictures on the races, when we travel around, I always put IFHRA inside.
Perfect.
Sheikh Mansoor.
Okay.
I saw Grant waving before. Grant, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've got to go. I've got another meeting. Lara, will you just drop me a line, please, about August?
Yes.
What you want? Yes?
We are, yes.
Talk to me.
I will talk to you.
Lots of love.
Bye bye, my love. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant. Bye. Just while we're on communications, I think it's a great thing that Australia are doing, and the promotion that's going on in Australia at the moment around IFHRA. Victoria has, I think, Victoria, you bought Greg Miles from, yeah. Okay.
No, Greg has, I suppose a lot of you might be familiar with Greg's voice.
Mid microphone, please, a mic here, because we don't hear what you're saying.
Pardon me. Greg unfortunately has had to go and take a family phone call, but I am so pleased that he's joined us here. Many of you might be familiar with his voice. He has called the past 37 Melbourne Cups right around the world, and his role has now changed dramatically as he steps away from broadcasting into a more heavy focus on racing and journalism. And it's wonderful to have him on board to have a look at what, first and foremost, Arabian racing is, and also the world's engagement, given our geographical location. We're obviously very, very isolated, and our thoroughbred racing is so strong and so prominent, but to expose Australian viewers to what Arabian racing is about, and also what is achieved from this meeting here today, and the opportunities that you all generate for riders right around the world, which is wonderful to see. So thank you.
Thanks, Victoria. That's fantastic. Okay, we're just about to finish. Perhaps I'll just ask the Skype people. Keith, did you have anything that you wanted to mention?
No, nothing in particular. Just to personally thank the association and Lara for the mentorship support, because I think it's making a big difference to the young people that are getting opportunities to travel.
Thanks, Keith. Keith, I've got a quick question for you. Alham's given me a finance debit card. Yeah, a prepaid debit card for John Pilkington. Should that be sent to you at race?
Yes, I think that is the best arrangement. He will collect it there before heading on to Canada. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah, anything?
No, I don't think so, thank you.
Are you coming, Sarah, on Sunday? No.
Sadly, I'm unable to, because we have a big race here, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. We'll miss you.
We will miss you, Sarah.
I'm missing you all very much.
Thank you. You have a nice weather over there. I can see the sun behind.
Yeah. Cold and sunny.
Teresa?
Just as far as we go here in Canada and Olds College, we're excited to have Jack Pilkington coming in to mentor with Rod Cohn. We have a lot of things planned and organized for him, and we're excited to be a part of it. And I wished I could be there with you guys as well this week. Always wanted to go there, but as work has it, I am not able to get away. Hope you guys have a great week.
Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you in Abu Dhabi in November.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's about it. Lara, the next meeting.
Next meeting will be in November, but the executive board meeting, only executive board, will be in UK in August at the school with Grant. Okay?
Okay.
On 11 August for the executive board only.
Okay, that winds up the meeting
And
now.
November, please, if you have good speakers in your own countries, come back to us, to Remy and to me, for the November biggest conference of IFHRA. Good suggestions from your part also is an important asset for us. Okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for your
And
attendance. And everyone will see you at the press
Thank you
conference.
very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you everyone on Skype.
Sit. We have a big
Bye.
We've got, please stay. We've got a photo.